in the morning.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is a beautiful Tuesday, but honestly, the mood is completely shattered after what we just witnessed in Genoa City. Grab a coffee, or maybe something much stronger, because we seriously need to unpack the absolute emotional devastation that just unfolded on our screens. I cannot believe they actually did this. I am literally typing this up at 2 in the morning because my brain is spinning so fast, and I absolutely cannot sleep after watching that episode. I am an emotional wreck right now. Just a complete and utter mess. I mean, we all knew Nick Newman was struggling behind closed doors. We saw the terrifying signs building up over the last few weeks. We saw him popping those pills, sweating through his shirts, shaking in the corners of the Newman Ranch, and lying straight to his family's faces. But seeing it actually explode like this, seeing the dark, ugly reality of his fentanyl addiction completely rip off the mask, it is devastating in a way I was not prepared for. I am just sitting here staring at my screen because my heart is entirely broken for Sharon Newman. I've been watching this show religiously since 2015, and I have seen some incredibly dark storylines, but this is easily one of the most gut-wrenching, painful, and raw things the writers have ever given us. And trust me, I have opinions. Let's just set the scene for a second, because the build-up to this moment was absolutely excruciating. Sharon is already dealing with so much intense background anxiety. The whole Newman family is in absolute chaos right now. Nikki has a terrifying 10% survival rate and is waiting for that specialist surgeon to fly in from New York. Victor is raging like a tyrant and blaming Victoria for everything, and everyone is walking on eggshells. So Sharon, being the absolute angel and anchor that she is, decides to drop by Nick's apartment unexpectedly to give him some moral support. She just wanted to check on him. She wanted to be his rock, because she knows he is carrying the weight of the entire world on his shoulders. She knocks on his door. No answer. She tries again, calling out his name. Nothing. But she feels that creeping, chilling sense of dread settling deep in her gut. You know that horrible feeling when you just know something is catastrophically wrong? So, driven by panic, she lets herself in. And, oh my God, the apartment. It wasn't just messy, it was a complete disaster zone. It looked like a tornado of pure despair had ripped through the place. Overturned furniture, clothes thrown everywhere, shattered objects, absolute chaos. And then she sees him. Nick, the golden boy of the Newman family. The hero who always tries to save everyone else and be the moral compass. He is completely, hopelessly high on fentanyl. He is disoriented, sweating profusely, totally out of control, and practically unrecognizable. This is not Nick Newman. This is a fragile shell of a man who has been completely consumed by a chemical demon he cannot fight. The visual of him stumbling around that trashed room, looking at Sharon with these glazed, confused, terrified eyes. It will haunt me. It will literally haunt me for weeks. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up for a second. We have to talk about exactly how we got here, because I am so furious at Matt Clark, I could scream at the top of my lungs. Remember when Matt literally locked Nick in a basement in Las Vegas? When he orchestrated this entire sadistic nightmare and pumped Nick full of lethal drugs just to break his mind and spirit? Matt wanted to destroy Nick from the inside out, and the absolute sickest part is that his evil plan actually worked. Nick thought he could just walk away from that trauma and brush it off. He lied to Adam, he lied to Victor, he lied to Sharon. He played the tough guy, because that's what Nick always does. But the fentanyl took over his brain. And now, Matt Clark's fake amnesia has been exposed, he's on the run, and he is actively targeting Noah. Nick knows his son is in mortal danger, but he is too high and incapacitated to even stand up straight. It makes me so incredibly angry I can barely see straight. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about the exact moment Sharon's eyes adjust to the dim lighting of that trashed room, and she realizes exactly what she is looking at. You can literally see her heart shatter into a million jagged pieces right there on the screen. Sharon Case deserves all the Emmys for that single, heartbreaking expression. It wasn't just shock, it was pure, unadulterated trauma. All those terrifying memories of Nick's past struggles, the agonizing pain of addiction, the darkness that has threatened to swallow him whole before it all came rushing back to her in one suffocating, paralyzing wave. She has spent years loving this man, fighting for this man, healing with this man, and seeing him reduced to this pathetic, drug-addled state, it broke her. And it completely broke me. Am I the only one who was literally sobbing at my television screen tonight? So she tries to approach him and help him. Because of course she does. She is Sharon. Her very first instinct is to rush forward, to hold him, to pull him back from the dangerous ledge he is teetering on. But Nick isn't Nick right now. He is the addiction speaking. And he lashes out violently. He physically resists her, pushing her away, stumbling backward into the mess of his own making. The raw anger and utter desperation in his voice were genuinely terrifying. He starts yelling, spewing these cruel, venomous words at her in his drug-induced stupor. He is so lost in the high, so confused by his own overwhelming shame and agony, that he uses the woman he loves as a verbal punching bag. He told her to get out. He said things that were specifically designed to cut her to the bone. And you could see every single syllable hit her like a physical blow to the chest. I mean, I hate him right now. I really do. How could he possibly say those horrific things to the woman who has stood by him through hell and back? But wait, no, I don't hate Nick. I can't hate Nick. I hate the disease. I am just so emotional and figuring out my complex thoughts as I type this, but I realize Nick is a profound victim here. He is drowning in an ocean of pain. His mother is fighting for her life. His father is a manipulative tyrant. His son is being hunted by a psychopath, and his brain has been hijacked by a highly addictive, lethal narcotic that was forced on him by Matt Clark. He didn't ask for this nightmare. He is lashing out because he is terrified and deeply ashamed that Sharon is seeing him at his absolute rock bottom. He wanted to be her strong hero, and instead, he has become her worst nightmare. And let's talk about Sharon's absolute helplessness in that devastating moment. She is a highly trained therapist. She knows exactly how the human mind works. She knows the clinical signs of severe addiction, the psychology of a relapse, the textbook ways to de-escalate a mental health crisis. But none of that clinical training matters when it's the love of your life screaming at you in a trashed, filthy apartment. All her professional knowledge just evaporated into thin air, leaving behind a terrified, heartbroken woman watching her soulmate actively destroy himself. She tried to calm him down, using that soft, soothing voice she always uses. But the fentanyl had built an impenetrable brick wall between them. The absolute crushing helplessness she felt in that room was palpable through the screen. She realized, in that horrific instant, the sheer, deadly magnitude of his relapse. Why does it always have to be Sharon? Seriously, can we talk about this for a minute? Why does Sharon always have to be the sacrificial lamb who carries the heavy emotional weight of the Newman men? She has survived breast cancer. She has survived the terror of Cameron Kirsten. She survived the tragic loss of Ray. She survived being kidnapped and psychologically tortured by Martin Laurent. Hasn't this poor woman been through enough? Now she has to bear the agonizing, life-or-death responsibility of saving Nick from a lethal drug addiction? It feels so incredibly unfair. I am so frustrated with the writers for constantly putting her in this exhausting position of having to fix broken, damaged men. But at the same time, who else could it possibly be? If Victor found him, he would just yell at him and make it about the family legacy. If Adam found him, it would turn into a toxic, competitive, brotherly measuring contest. Sharon is the only one who looks at Nick with pure, unconditional grace and love. Remember when they tried this kind of addiction storyline with Nikki? When she would fall off the wagon with her alcoholism for the 100th time, and Victor would throw his massive weight around, trying to control every aspect of her recovery? Yeah, didn't work then either. It always felt a bit repetitive and predictable. But this fentanyl storyline with Nick feels entirely different. It feels gritty, highly dangerous, and desperately urgent. Nick is usually the stable one in the family. He is the moral compass, the guy who calls Victor out on his manipulative garbage and tries to protect his siblings. To see the moral compass completely shattered, lying in the dirt, high out of his mind. It shifts the entire dynamic of the show. It proves that absolutely nobody is immune to the darkness, not even the great, untouchable Nick Newman. Let's go back to those cruel, unforgivable words he slurred at her. When he told her she didn't understand his pain, that she was suffocating him, that she needed to leave him alone and let him drown. Every single word was dripping with fentanyl-induced paranoia and self-hatred. But Sharon didn't leave. She stood there, trembling like a leaf, tears streaming down her face, absorbing his toxic rage because she knew deep down it wasn't really him speaking. It was the drugs talking. But knowing that logically doesn't make it hurt any less emotionally. The heavy, suffocating burden of responsibility settled squarely on her shoulders in that messy room. She realized that Nick's dark secret is finally out. He can't hide it anymore. The brave facade is gone, and the ugly, terrifying reality of his addiction is staring them right in the face. So now, Sharon is standing at the most agonizing crossroads of her entire life. This is the ultimate catalyst for a massive emotional crisis that is going to push their already complicated relationship right to the very edge of the cliff. She has an impossible choice to make. Does she throw herself into the raging fire to save him? Does she risk her own mental health, her own hard-won stability, and her own safety to drag Nick kicking and screaming into a rehab facility? Or does she protect herself? Does she walk away and say, "I love you, but I cannot let your destruction become my destruction"? I know some people are loving this intense drama and want Sharon to be the ultimate savior who fixes him with the power of love. But personally, I am terrified for her well-being. She desperately needs to